There was one thing that I wanted to make really clear on this Monday morning, CJ.
What?
Please, I have a request, I guess is what I should say. A simple request, a simple favor. Please make Juju Watkins National Player of the Year. Please make Juju Watkins National Player of the Year in women's college basketball, because Juju Watkins is as good as you think she is. She is better than you think she is. She is one of the faces of basketball, and she is the reason why the USC Trojans are Big Ten champions. Yeah, that sounds weird. Big Ten champions. And the fact that it came down to UCLA and USC playing at Pauley Pavilion, the number 4 team versus the number 2 team on a Saturday night, and it was Juju Watkins who again comes up huge for USC. 30 points. She made her first 3 of the game. I had the USC game on my small screen. This moment between Cheryl Miller and Juju. Slap that butt! From one great to another. They missed it on the broadcast originally, but don't fret. They gave the replay. You said that's the best moment. I would say it was a tie. The block that Juju Watkins had in this game on Jaquez, Juju has a block, and then she breaks the 4th wall. I love when players break the 4th wall, but she looks dead into that camera after the block and is just like, yeah. And it just, she's so good. She's so damn good. It makes so much sense why there was an anonymous GM survey in the WNBA who said they would do anything. They would trade everything to have Juju Watkins, because she is the future of somebody's franchise. She is the future face of somebody's franchise in the W. She is only a sophomore in college, but she has been remarkable. She had 30 points, 5 assists, 3 rebounds, 3 blocks. All she does is put up big numbers against UCLA. She's averaging 33, 8, 3 assists, and 4 blocks against UCLA this season. And USC has beaten UCLA 4 straight times. Juju Watkins is that girl, period. She's so fun to watch. I cannot say enough good things. And it's not just because I went there.
No, she's great. She is approaching phenom status. We talked about that some last week. And for good reason she is. She is a special, special player. And we've talked about this a couple of times about why USC women's basketball is not better than what it
That's
is
their
right
first
now.
conference title since 1994, regular season title.
And that's why, for me, Jacob, remember that clip of Cheryl Miller and Juju? That's why that clip, to me, is the best thing I've seen in basketball this year so far. Is because it's the last time they were this, she was there. Cheryl was there. It's cool to see players coming back to the university. I always like to see that. And we had that moment, I feel like it was this year, at UConn, where it's Paige sitting on the bench, and then it's rows of UConn greats. So it's Sue Bird, it is Diana Taurasi on one bench, and there's some more players above them. And it's just, you look into the stands and you see UConn greats row by row by row. USC can't do that for some strange reason. And that's why that moment is so much fun, because she's the best player USC has seen. And USC, let me be clear, USC has seen some really great, impactful WNBA players come through there. Right, but not what Juju is, and not anything remarkable enough to get them held to just a Elite 8. I'm looking right now; they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Elite 8s, 7 Elite 8s as a program. Cheryl Miller is responsible for 3.
3 of them, and then you had the Lisa Leslie in the early '90s.
That's the only way that clip could have been made better. If she's high-fiving Lisa Leslie while Cheryl Miller's giving her a pat on the ass.
But it was pretty
kid.
great because Cheryl Miller's next to Reggie, who's UCLA, and Cheryl Miller keeps winning. It's fine. It is what it is.
Yep.
No, it was very fun to watch. And from a USC perspective, so much has been made about the burden that's been on Juju this season, and she is almost everything. But what stood out in that game was the fact that Kiki Affarin finally looked like the 1-2 punch that she and Juju were supposed to be. Like when things got tougher in the second half, Kiki had a big second half. Rhea Marshall defending one of the other candidates for National Player of the Year, Lauren Betts, about as well as anyone has defended Lauren Betts this season. I think she was held to just 11 points, which is far below her season average. Things started to come together in a way that made me a little more confident, because when you're going into the tournament, sure, you always have a chance when you have the best player on the team, and that is Juju Watkins, or the best player on the court, I should say. But there hasn't been a whole lot of help with Juju this year, and system-wise, there hasn't been a whole lot of help. So,
what system-wise? What system? Either the players.
Their system is Juju.
Yeah, because the players can't play.
But the players are finally playing better, is my point.
One game?
They came in with the number one recruiting class, high school recruiting class. They went from last year having all these transfers, all these particularly Ivy League transfers, who fortified that team and allowed for Juju to start taking off, right? Because it's really hard for someone to do it as a freshman. Now as a sophomore, she's capable of even more than she was last season. But you're finally, I mean, Kiki was the big get out of Stanford. Like, that's what was supposed to be the most important addition to Juju Watkins. And up to this point, it has fallen, frankly, flat. But if that can start surging now, I feel more confident in USC being a true number one seed, which at this point in time, they are predicted to be a number one seed. But it has felt a little flappy because it's just Juju. And it's hard when it's just one player.
Well, we just saw one player drag a team all the way to a couple of back-to-back
She had a little bit of help along the edges. You can't be party of one.
Yet you
got to be party of one and then a smattering.
She was, and Juju is also. Let's go. I love it.
Just another year in Big Ten women's basketball,
Just another year in Big Ten women's basketball. Let's go.
The Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt, live every weekday at 8 a.m.